up here, South Carolina seems to be smooth and level. Distance doesn't mean much. Traveling is easy. Birds get around fine this way. But the rest of us must get around every day like this. Or this. Or maybe this. But we get around. Sometimes slowly. It's times like these that we may wish we could travel like a bird. And speaking of birds, here's the red-faced hornblower. As a species, he's gradually becoming extinct, thanks to something we all take for granted, good roads. South Carolina has made tremendous progress in the past 50 years, and this progress has come on wheels. Every year we have more wheels, and every year we have more problems. What it comes down to is this. We have built cars and trucks faster than we have built highways for them. In the 10 years following World War II, the number of motor vehicles in this state more than doubled to over 700,000. Today, there are over 850,000 registered vehicles, and the number is increasing all the time. It wasn't so many years back when motor vehicles in South Carolina were few and far between, and it was even farther between sections of paved road. In 1920, there was a grand total of 26 miles of paved highway in our state. The roads were congested all right, not with traffic, but with mud. For lack of passable roads, there were no farmers' markets, and extra produce was wasted by the ton. It was this sort of thing that led to the state's first serious highway construction program. And the motor age was born. Through the years, highway planners and highway builders have steadily accelerated their construction programs. But the demands of today's growing traffic continue to overburden yesterday's highways. When this road was built 30 years ago, it could easily carry its traffic load. The speed limit then was 45. Cars and trucks were comparatively lightweight, and there were so few of them. For today's big, fast cars and trucks, this highway is simply outdated. As vehicles change in design and performance, so must the road beneath them. But change doesn't come automatically. It takes surveys. It takes planning and engineering, construction, grading, good maintenance, and still more planning. Engineering studies often show that our highways need changes. This map, for instance. These lines stand for traffic volumes in our South Carolina highways. The wider the band, the heavier the traffic. Sometimes our needs are found out by accident. Each accident means a loss, always in property, sometimes in life. When one location seems to be accident-prone, the area is studied to find out why. This is a special Highway Department accident map, where each accident is represented by a pin. A lot of pins in one spot spells trouble that must be corrected. Sometimes it just takes a simple change, like a signal or a sign. Other times, it might take a major construction job like this divided intersection to stop the trouble. Traffic studies are continuing things. Where did the cars come from? Where are they going? What will be the traffic load a year or 10 years from now? How many cars use the road today? Machines count them. Engineers classify them, analyze the information to get the root of a traffic problem. Top-level engineers review, and then make the final decisions from which important improvements come. Here you can see it. This road is too narrow, has too many blind curves and steep hills for today's traffic. It needs a lot of improving to make it safer, more efficient. One step toward raising its standards is to widen it, give it a broader driving surface. Hills and valleys can be leveled and dangerous curves straightened out. This road can now handle more cars at higher speeds with greater safety. But some roads need more help. Sometimes studies show that a highway needs more than just widening and leveling. Heavy traffic demands separated lanes. South Carolina has completed many such projects, and more are being built to handle tomorrow's traffic. A divided road gives the driver a better brake on safety. Traffic traveling in opposite directions is physically separated by a center divider or median. The danger of one of the worst kinds of highway accidents, the head-on collision, is substantially reduced. And at night, headlight glare from oncoming traffic is cut to the minimum thanks to lane separation. There are two systems of highways in South Carolina. The primary system, 10,000 miles of heavily traveled main routes, and a secondary system which includes all other roads built or maintained by the state. There are more than 18,000 miles of local or farm-to-market roads in the secondary system. Many of our primary routes have a long history. Some were blazed by our forefathers, the old wagon trails and stagecoach highroads. With the coming of the motor age, these traditional routes were soon swamped with a combination of local and through traffic. Even today, many of these routes still thread their way through the maze of buildings and streets and avenues that have grown up around them in our cities, choked by the very traffic they encouraged. Out of this congestion was born the arterial street, for example, Bull Street in Columbia, a high-standard multi-lane street capable of carrying heavy state highway traffic through our cities. Another, the Church Street artery in Greenville. Downtown improvements like these cost lots of money because they involve urban real estate that sells by the foot instead of the acre. But it's the only way to keep our larger cities from choking themselves. Now completed, the new Church Street Expressway is a dramatic solution to downtown traffic congestion. You might say, if the through traffic is so heavy in our cities and towns, why isn't it routed around them? Well, the Highway Department is doing just that when and where practical with a bypass. A large percentage of traffic is through traffic, drivers on their way to distant destinations. These new bypass routes permit this through traffic to avoid crowded downtown sections, allow it to keep moving on its way. Bypasses at Bennettsville, Union, and in other areas have benefited the towns involved, not to mention the motorists. Local traffic can move more freely. There's less congestion downtown. This bypass around the city of Sumter goes a step further. It's a controlled access bypass, a kind of express-type detour with limited exits and entrances. Sometimes the solution to one problem creates another. A case in point, this used to be U.S. Highway 76, bypassing Clemson and Seneca. It finally got so cluttered with roadside businesses and industries, residential developments and the like, that through traffic had to crawl along. Too narrow, too congested, too dangerous. Solution, this is the new U.S. 76. It's a modern road in a new location. There's no congestion, plenty of elbow room. Sure, it was a big investment, but it will pay off in dividends of convenience and safety. Two ingredients our Highway Department strives to build into all of its roads, whether they're expressways or secondary roads. The Highway Department is improving our secondary or farm-to-market roads at the rate of 1,000 miles a year. at an economical $10,000 to $13,000 per mile. Most of them have all-weather asphalt surfaces 20 feet wide, and they generally follow existing roads and streets. Since they carry light traffic at moderate speeds, they don't have to be as wide, as straight, or as strong as the main highways. Their function, to give the rural and city people paved roads between homes, schools, and markets. Bridges are links in our highway network. They tie all of our sections of highway together to make the road system as we know it. And the construction cost is high. All types of bridges on all types of roads in all sections of our state. Some bridges are built to span large rivers, like the Ladies Island Bridge at Beaufort, the Upper Ashley River Bridge at Charleston, the downtown Ashley Bridge, on the most heavily traveled section of highway in the state, will soon have a sister parallel bridge to share its heavy traffic load. Customarily, when highway meets waterway, cars stop and wait while the boats pass through a drawbridge. And often there's quite a wait. Where highway traffic and water traffic are heavy, the solution is a bridge high enough for boats to pass under. More costly to build, but they don't need attendants 24 hours a day, and there is no delay for the cars or the boats. Just as we have outgrown our roads, we've outgrown many of our older bridges too. Comes when they must be widened, raised, and strengthened to meet modern standards of safety and efficiency. New bridges also must be built as new roads are built. Beyond dispute, the most significant development in modern road design is the controlled access highway. This beautiful example, US 276 near Fountain Inn, is planned for maximum efficiency and safety. No chance of collision at an unexpected crossroad or side road. There aren't any. Getting on or off the highway is safe too. At each entrance, there's a special lane for getting up to highway speed. Similarly, at each exit, there's a deceleration lane where the motorist can safely reduce his speed before turning off. Accident rates on controlled access highways are strikingly lower. By driving at constant speeds, motorists save gas, travel time, and most important, they save lives. In 1956, Congress approved a program calling for 41,000 miles of this type of highway on a national scale. It's a system of interstate and defense highways that will link every state and all major cities in the nation. South Carolina has 4 sections of interstate highway totaling 680 miles. They'll connect the state with all parts of the nation, crisscrossing South Carolina to serve the needs of all our people. These interstate highways are being built with both state and federal funds, but when they're completed, the states will own and maintain them. The interstate routes are built to the highest standards to serve our highway needs to 1975 and beyond. Huge materials plants are especially built to supply the thousands of tons of asphalt or concrete needed for surfacing. All the lessons learned in half a century of American highway building are paying off in this mammoth program. Every mile of expressway, every curve in the elaborate interchanges represents the most advanced design, the most efficient construction known to our master highway builders. It is hoped that built-in safety features will save some 3,500 lives each year. The interstate program is the biggest construction job in history, bigger than the building of Egypt's pyramids. In terms of dollars, 60 times bigger than the Panama Canal project. The interstate routes are big, wide, straight, and level to give fast, modern traffic the space it needs. 4 or more 12-foot lanes allow safe, easy traffic flow. Passing is no problem, and wide medians separate opposing traffic. Paved 10-foot wide shoulders serve as stopping zones for vehicles in trouble, reducing the danger of collision. And like all controlled access roads that we've been talking about, there are no dangerous crossroads, no side roads, no traffic lights or railroad grade crossings to worry about. You can enter the routes, leave or change directions with a minimum of risk. Near interchanges or on connecting roads, you will find service stations, restaurants, motels, and other services. The interstate system is big, and it has a big job to do, a big traffic need to meet. It is taking its place in South Carolina's ever-growing system of good highways as part of a balanced highway program that is keeping up with the progress that is coming on wheels.